Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. All right, so first things first, wristwatch check. Tudor Hydronaut on a black NATO. Not bad. I'm usually a dedicated bracelet kind of guy, but this looks pretty good. We're going to look at NATOs a little bit later, and you guys can do some voting. Now, the last couple times I've been to the sports club, I've worn my Hydronaut in the gym area. But when I go to the pool, you can't use a watch in the pool, and they're really strict about it. So you have to take your watch off and you have to lay it poolside, and you can't keep an eye on it. So I usually take my Casio. If you're curious, I think it may have something to do with, the potential of the crystal cracking, and if that were to happen, there could be glass in the pool. They'd have to drain the entire pool to keep from being liable for injuries, and so they just say no watches. That's my guess. I've never actually questioned the rule, because you don't question rules in Japan. You just follow them. All right, so yeah, not bad. Now, I wanted to make a follow-up video to my video yesterday, and a lot of people responded and they said, I don't know if you should go for your Grail straight away. I don't know if you should make that leap before you're ready and before you're knowledgeable enough. And I agree. My video presupposes that you have a certain level of self-awareness and understanding to make that decision. Now, let's look at me for a second. Now, I've been in the watch game for about 5 years, and my tastes really haven't changed. They're pretty solidified. Now, in 10 years, could they change? Well, I love the GMT Master line in 10 years. My guess would be yeah, but we don't know the future, and so anything is possible. Could I hate it? I would be very surprised, but I guess anything's possible, right? Now, it's been relatively easy for me because my interest lies in Rolex predominantly. And so I was able to spend some time reading about the brand and learning about the different models and the history of the different models and the changes. And because it was focused on just Rolex, I could do it pretty quickly. But if you have a love for not just Rolex, but other brands, then that's going to take a little bit more time. You're going to have to sort of search out all those brands you think you're interested in, and you think you might be interested in, and you're going to have to research those. And if you love all watches, you can spend a lifetime doing that. If you can at least isolate a few brands that you want to focus on: Rolex, Breitling, Omega, Patek, AP, Vacheron, these real high-end watches. That's what I probably would do, okay? But, if you want to go mid-tier, there's no end to the rabbit holes you can go down. And so personally speaking, I think I was able to conceptualize that ideal collection pretty quickly. But obviously, I would not propose somebody to say, hey, I'm going to get into watches, and I know a little bit about Seiko. I've heard of the brand, and I know Rolex, and they got a day date. Yeah, that's what I want. All right, I'm going to make that happen. No, obviously you want to spend enough time researching so that you do make good decisions. And I didn't say that because I think hopefully everybody is adult enough to know that you have to do your research, right? Now, during the research period, when you're just getting into watches, you're probably gonna want to get a mechanical watch. I certainly did. And I went for an Orient Blue Mako. It cost $160. Now, could I have gone a little more high-end? Could I have gotten a mid-tier watch for $1,000? Yeah, I could have, but I knew that the ultimate goal was probably a Rolex. And I thought, the Orient is a beautiful watch, and it might do it for me. And let's see. And I also thought, what if I don't like wearing a watch? And what if I don't like a mechanical watch? And so I thought, I can get out of it. It'll cost $160, and if it winds up in my sock drawer, then that's fine. But I can see being tempted, if I'd had a little less sense, to something more mid-tier, and that would have been a huge mistake. And one of the reasons I think you should conceptualize your collection is so you don't go down that path. Many people, including watch gurus and retailers and brands, would love for you to work your way up to a Rolex, buying a lot of crap on the way. And I didn't want to do that. I knew where I was headed, and I thought, let's do the test piece, all right? And so that's why I've always said, when you get into watches, you're going to want to get a watch. Go ahead, get one. Make sure it's sub $200. And then while you're saving up for that big piece, do your research. Yeah, I would do that. And the idea of buying, like a mid-tier that's, it's going to be so much better than the $200 Orient. If I had gone, say, a mid-tier route, like a $1,000 watch, it would be absolutely worthless to me. I probably would want to sell it. Well, here's the thing. I probably wouldn't want to sell it because it would be my first mechanical watch, and just like the Orient, it would have some sentimental value to me. But I would think, I wish I had gone cheaper. I mean, there's $1,000 tied up in that piece, and if I sold it, I could get $500. And so one of the reasons I don't sell my Orient, well, number one is because it is my first mechanical watch, and I do have a soft spot for it because of that. But what could I get for it? Like $100, maybe $50? It's just really not even worth it. It's the sentimental value is worth more to me. But if it was $1,000 piece, I would think, I really should try to get out of it. But again, what could I get for it? $500, like half the price, and then lose $500. So I would look at $1,000 piece like, basically a mistake. It would be a mistake. And so that's why I think you get that cheap sub $200 piece, and then you go straight, basically, like I said yesterday, to your Grail. And be sensible about it. And if you're iffy and you think, well, I don't know if my Grail is the Speedmaster Man on the Moon or the Explorer 2 Black Dial. Well, if you don't, if you can't answer that, you're not ready. You need to hold back and think about what you want. Now, can a watch guru help you with that? Heck no, not at all. When I was into cameras, it would puzzle me because sometimes people would say, what camera should I get? And I thought to myself, get on the internet and figure that out for yourself. Nobody can answer that question. It goes even more so for watches. I mean, a watch guru at best can introduce you to watches you don't know about, yes. But if you're watching this, then I suspect you may have access to a computer and the internet, and you can do a lot of research on your own. So the idea of asking for advice has never made any sense to me, because you should be able to look at your needs and what turns you on, and that's why I would avoid seeking help from watch gurus, okay? Especially ones that are going to want to have you work your way up. Stay away from those, all right? Buying a watch is not like a camera. I went straight to a 7D, and then from a 7D, I went to a 1DX. And is it a learning curve? All the buttons on a 1DX? Absolutely, absolutely. But you know what? You can do it. I can do it. I bet you can do it too. And operating a watch is not nearly as hard. So the idea of working your way up doesn't make any sense. You know, this is not like, you know, there's no risk factor. You know, when you buy a motorcycle, you might not want to start with a 1,000cc motorbike. You might kill yourself, right? You're not going to hurt yourself with a watch, and learning how to use it's not going to be too difficult. The whole working your way up thing, if the excuse is so you can learn, sub $200 watch, pull back and learn, okay? That's not an excuse, and that's not good advice, working your way up so you can learn. No, you're going to regret those middle purchases later, okay? You will. And you know what? If you don't, and you get your Grail and you look back and you think, I really want that $1,000 piece of crap. I didn't get it on my way up, and I really want it. You can always buy it then, okay? After your Grail. But you know what? You probably won't. You probably won't. So, yeah, the idea of working your way up, no. The idea of holding back and then making the right decision, yes, all right? Because at the end of the day, you are going to have a collection, and you want pieces that you respect, and you don't want pieces that were some stepping stone to the ones you do respect, okay? That's filler, and we know what Archie calls those, and he's right. Now, as far as the argument that people's tastes should change, well, yeah, people's tastes do change, and that's why, again, self-awareness is important. But that's not a real argument in against buying your Grail, because you know what, your tastes can always change. You can spend 10 years in this game, buy your Grail, and then your taste can change, okay? So tastes changing is always a possibility, whether you've been in it for 6 weeks, 6 months, or 6 years. So otherwise, I mean, somebody might say, Austin, are you sure you wanted 2 GMTs? I mean, your taste might change. Yeah, of course they might change. But again, it's another reason to go Rolex, because when if your tastes change, then you are in a much safer space, right? Safer place, space. All right, whatever. Tell me what you think, all right? Work your way up. No, hold back. Educate yourself. Figure out what you want. Don't be an idiot. And then get to what you want. Focus on it like a laser beam. All right, so just wanted to make a video about that. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time.